Everyone, this is Heather Gill with Places to Go with Heather Gill, and today in this episode of People to Know, I have the privilege and honor of introducing Nedra Hines, who's with Effortless Charm Staging. Nedra, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Tell us a little bit about Effortless Charm Staging.
Well, my staging company, which I will have you know that I stage homes in the Dallas area. And I actually live in Coppel, but I will cover any Dallas area that my client wants.
Right.
I've been in business a little over 3 years. And basically this all started because I had been in the corporate world for 22 years maybe.
Okay.
And I had this job that I really, really, really loved. And to hear from my senior leader that I wasn't the best fit for that job, I mean, it left me heartbroken.
Wow.
And I just finally thought that I was just so tired of just giving my all, stressing out, trying my best to do a good job, and for someone that I'm working for, they would have a completely different view.
Right.
So I wound up getting coaching from this dear friend, and she said, Nedra, you can try really, really, really hard, but that just is not you. Like you love pretty things. You're always wearing pretty clothes, and just how you share yourself and who you are with people in the world is you definitely wear it. So, So look at that. And from there, I thought, well, how do I dress up? Like, I don't want to dress people. Where do I even start?
Right.
And I just started talking to these random friends that I thought they would maybe know something, or they would know someone who knows something about making things pretty, just to see if we could come up with what I could do.
Okay.
And after talking to about 3 to 5 people, and then even brainstorming with the guy that I was dating at the time, I came up with staging homes. And so that's how it all started, me being in the corporate world, trying to make it work.
I think a lot of people kind of go down that path. They get involved with corporate America. They work for somebody else for a while. And they exhaust the skill set that they can supporting that entity or that corporation or that business. And then they realize that there's more for them, that they can do more and that they can do it for themselves. So that's a really cool, awesome story.
I would say that whenever I came up with staging homes, I knew that it sounded good. And the truth is, you never really know. I had no clue what it looked like and what all that meant until I actually started.
Sure.
And luckily, I have learned to be patient and to be with where I am. And I have spent a lot of time learning. So I just think that learning and having mentors, coaches, people who have done that, that it really does help. And I will say Facebook has been amazing, because I could easily think of maybe 5 different Facebook groups where there are stagers only. Okay. And we're always sharing not only our tips, tricks, knowledge, wisdom, and we champion each other.
No, that's such good advice. Being involved with a community that can help support, helping you sharpen your skill set, open your mind to more possibilities is such a powerful thing. And I think some entrepreneurs don't see it like that. I think there are some entrepreneurs out there that see that more as a competition, and not as a way of really, leveling up, if you will. I would love to transition at this point and hear more about who you are as a person, Nedra. You're really awesome. I've had opportunities to have coffee with you, rub some elbows at networking events with you. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about these hobbies, especially this Amazon delivery thing. Man, I tell you what, tell us more about your hobbies.
I will tell you, when I'm not working, the thing that I love to do, and I will say, because a lot of us, we've been quarantined due to COVID-19. I have been watching a lot of different YouTube movies and different YouTube clips. That's one of the things that I have gotten hooked on. And I always start my morning, every single morning. I start meditating and I practice yoga, because it really does help me to have balance and to have peace and have calm. I start every single day with that meditation and yoga. And so Amazon shopping on Amazon is pretty much a hobby because I don't have to go to the store. And Netflix, I normally don't have it because I have my Amazon Fire Stick.
Sure.
I signed up for Netflix free for 30 days because I thought, well, I'll be spending more time indoors.
Right.
And I've just been getting hooked on the different Netflix movies and shows and things like that. So, and I love reading. I love reading.
Right as this all started happening, I thought, you know what? It's not going to hurt to have a little bit more entertainment in the house. The kids are going to be a little bit more bored. And there was some stuff I wanted to see. So like Brene Brown, if you know her, she's got an amazing Netflix series, but I like that a lot. And then Tony Robbins has a really good one too. Those are some Netflix ones I've enjoyed watching. But do you have like a favorite content creator kind of person on YouTube?
Wow, that is so interesting because I just finished listening to this audiobook and I believe the title is Fail Forward. And I forget the guy's last name, but I just finished listening to that. I watch talk show clips, The Real. I will watch Wendy Williams talk show clips.
Oh, yeah?
I watch, and then there are certain channels that I do follow. So Tamara Mowry Housley, she's married to, he used to work for Fox, Adam Housley. They have their own channel. It's called The Housley Life. I follow them. Okay. And I also follow supermodel Naomi Campbell. All right. And I also like to watch Jay Shetty. I love Jay. And you mentioned Brene Brown earlier. I just watched one of her YouTube clips where she's talking about being vulnerable without oversharing.
Right. So definitely add to your list places to go with Heather Gill on YouTube.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, my shameless plug in the middle of your interview. Sorry about that. It's interesting times, and we have to pivot to do what we can. So speaking of that, I know you're a stager. So like, how is this affecting your business directly? And are you doing anything creative in this moment with staging?
Well, I will say that I'm getting fewer calls because for most stagings, we have to be in the home. Sure. And it also opened up for me to do e-consultation. So that's something that I recently invested in that package, and I'm getting it set up. And yes, so I'm doing that. And it's just, I'm thinking of, okay, if I can't physically stage, how can I make money? Right. And so being able to do that online, coach people through what they can do in order to get their home ready for sale. That's something that I want to move forward in sooner rather than later, considering that we are staying inside for the most part.
No, that's very clever. And I think that positioning yourself like that in the market right now will make a big difference for you. I think that just given the situation we're in, people are going to really need that service. So I'm glad to hear it. So when you get it set up, like, let me know.
Oh, I definitely will. And since it's something that will be online, this is something that I can do for anyone, anywhere in this country and still make some money.
I love it. No, that's great and clever. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about nuggets of wisdom that you would have for our viewers. What would those tidbits be?
I was thinking about the audiobook that I was listening to that involves failing forward. I would say, for the most part, don't be afraid to fail forward, because without failure, you can't learn anything. Right. And for me being on this journey, if I haven't been able to learn from my own failure, I've been able to learn from other people's failure. And I definitely put a lot of emphasis on someone else's failure, because it saves me a lot of time and it saves me a lot of money. So do not be afraid to fail forward or learn from someone else's failure. And also, I would say comparison. Sure. So, and I would always look at stagers who had been in the business maybe 8 to 10 years, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I wish I could be where they are, and I couldn't even see it. But who knew that we would be in the situation that we are now, dealing with COVID-19? And I'm looking at a lot of these stagers who have these bigger businesses, and they're literally thinking of selling inventory just so they can make money. Right. And I think to myself, that whole time that I was that I spent comparing my business and where I was to where they are, it was a waste of energy because
wow.
This COVID-19 is bringing a lot of small businesses to their knees. It doesn't even matter because a lot of small businesses won't even make it past COVID-19.
No, you make a super good point there. We've got to be true to who we are, and our business is a reflection of who we are. So if we try to be like everybody else around us, right? First of all, it's not a differentiation. For second, like it's not really who we are. It's not true to who we are. And people value and want authenticity with the people that they work with, and I think people need the variety. So you're in a really great spot. Not having all that inventory, not having a bunch of overhead. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that I'm with a virtual brokerage, EXP. We don't need offices.
Right.
We're not paying. I'm not sitting here having to pay some desk fee to some office I can't go work in right now. And there are realtors that are in, I'm going to say, antiquated systems. That brokerage model is antiquated, and this proves it. And so I feel for them because those independent brokers, those people that own those buildings or are paying rent on them, woo, man, I would not want to be in those shoes right now. And there are a ton of small businesses that are exactly in that same spot. It's kind of a scary moment for some people.
I mean, and for anyone who works for EXP Realty, COVID-19, I mean, you're still doing business. You haven't missed anything,
right? Because
you were web-based to start out with,
right? So, but I like your idea, and I like your concept. You're talking about comparison, and I think that by being true to who you are, Nedra, running your business true to who you are, making the decisions that made sense for you personally, you're positioned to do well right now, and I'm glad to hear that. So definitely kudos. I can't wait to see that link when you get that virtual thing set up, or the e-commerce. What was it called again?
The e-consultation. So basically I can do Occupy consultations virtually. So yes, it's called an e-consultation.
Yeah, let me know when you get it set up because I can't wait to share that out with everybody I know.
Okay. Yes, I'm definitely working on it.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. Well, let's go ahead and let me wrap it up with you today. Again, thank you so much for being on my show. Super duper excited to have you on, hear about the awesome things you're doing with your staging business right now. And I've got your information on the bottom of the screen. So for those of y'all that are interested in this e-consultation or just asking her questions about staging in general, her number's right there on the screen. And you can also go to her website, which is effortlessstaging.com.
Yay. Thank you, Heather.
Appreciate it.